Good morning to you. Happy Tuesday. My name is Lisa Vasquez, and I am a coach for mindset success. I work together with you so that we can become the best versions of ourselves that we were created to be. So I'd like to thank you for joining me today. And whether you're live or tuning in later, thank you for joining me. I see people starting to come in now. Good morning, Chris. Hope you're having a great morning so far. Good morning, Marion. Up bright and early, huh? I love it. And I love that you're on Facebook. Good morning, Joe. Great that you could join us. Today, I want to talk to you about mistakes and what mistakes are and a couple of mistakes that I've made. Good morning, Rebecca. I would like to hear from you. Share with me some lessons that you have learned from the mistakes that you've made in the past as I'm chatting this morning with you. It helps to make a little bit of a better conversation that way. And so if we think about mistakes, what really is a mistake? Because I think sometimes that word gets a little bit misconstrued. I think sometimes people say, I made a mistake, when in actuality, it was something that they did somewhat intentionally. And it's easy, messed that one up. Well, did you really mess it up? Are we being honest, or are we really making a mistake? So how does that really work? A mistake is simply an error in our actions. They're caused by poor reasoning. Sometimes it's caused by carelessness or insufficient knowledge. And sometimes they're just excuses. Really, those excuses are not mistakes. Our mistakes are really very unintentional. So mistakes I've made. So a couple of them, in thinking about it, I talked to some people not trying hard enough. Oh my goodness, how many of us have not tried hard enough all the time? Not really lived up to the excellence that we're called to be. Not taken something seriously enough. Rebecca, I love that. Boy, I tell you, I did not really love the fact that Rebecca got a tattoo, but what I do love is what it says, and it's always in front of her. And I think, for that's really cool and really special. Her tattoo says never a mistake. It's always a lesson. And those are the things that we take away. That's really something near and dear to my heart. So if we haven't tried hard enough in the past, we learn to try harder. We learn to get up and do it again, because sometimes, as the saying goes, sometimes we win, and it's not sometimes we lose. Sometimes we win, and sometimes we learn. Oh, sorry, Rebecca. You'll have to write the right version of it for me. I do like the message. It's great. Another thing that I have learned, a mistake that I've learned from, is really not heeding the words of advice other people have given me. Sometimes they give really great advice, and we simply want to do things our own way. We have to experience things and pick ourselves back up again. And sometimes I wonder why that is. Why don't we listen to what other people have said when we know they're right? Sometimes deep down we know that they're right. Why don't we do that? So that's another one of those lessons that comes from the mistakes that we make. And a big one for me. Now, I grew up in a Christian home, going to a great Christian church, and I was always taught, God created the heavens and the earth, God created me, and yet at the same time, it was one of those lessons that right over my head. Why is that? Why don't we really know and understand what it is that is really meant by that. Who we are created. We are created in God's image. We're created perfectly, and yet we're given free will and free choice, and in that we end up with imperfections. But it's the imperfections that make us who we are. It helps us to live. It helps us to learn. It helps us to spur ourselves forward. And let's see, I'm looking at my notes here. So Michelle is saying we only fail when we don't learn from the mistake. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, to listen more than we speak. That's awesome. That is great. And I'm seeing a number of you jumping in. I'm missing some of the names as they're popping in, so I apologize for that. But Michelle, Allison, Kylie, Diane, it's awesome to see all of you here. Thank you for joining me. Suzanne, welcome. Some of the lessons that I have learned in that lesson of not really seeing myself for who I am: love who you are and where you're at in life. Loving who I am? Oh my goodness, I am totally not always the person that I want to be, but who I am at this moment in time. And realizing that I can move forward. I can appreciate where I am at life at this time, knowing that I can intentionally choose the people that I surround myself with. I can focus my attention and thoughts on God, and in doing so, I can become the person that God has created me to be, and so can you. It really depends on where you choose to put yourself. Having confidence in myself. Oh, this is a big one. We all need to have confidence in ourselves. We don't need to compare ourselves to other people. That's a really big trap in your growth. If we compare ourselves up to other people, we're never going to measure up, and we're never going to be good enough. And yet, if we're comparing ourselves down, that's a time when we're always better than other people, and that's not a good spot either. So you need to make sure that there is a really good balance in all of that. And make sure that you can admire qualities in other people while making sure that you don't discount your own. You have your own special qualities. You have qualities that other people admire in you as well. So those imperfections are what make you beautiful and unique. You are created with a purpose. And so share with me those lessons that you've been learning. What mistakes have you made? What lessons did you learn from those mistakes? You can get personal or not. It's okay. But I would love to learn from you. What is it that you've learned from the mistakes that you have in life? So that is really all I have on this lesson for today. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk about insecurity. And as we move through the week, we're going to take a look at some of these tough topics. So thank you for joining me. Penny and Lloyd, we're just wrapping up here, so catch it on the replay. But I would love to hear from you too, the lessons that you've learned from your mistakes. Thanks for joining me. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Be blessed as you go forward, and look for the blessings that are put before you. Until tomorrow morning, I will see you. Hope to connect with you all sometime soon. Take care.